Hi, congratulations for each and every one of you for getting admission to read master's program post-harvest physiology in KNUST. I think you are most lucky and really fortunate to have such an opportunity to read a program like this. My name is Dr. Newton Amaglo, and I'm the program coordinator for my Department of Horticulture. And I'm here to take you through a short overview of what to expect during the program for Masters in Post-Harvest Physiology. The program is a 2-year program. The first year is for taught courses, and then the second year is for your research. So basically, the concept of post-harvest is a novel, it's one of the newest fields in agriculture. It's fast growing. The importance of it is extremely established to the point that as a post-harvest, definitely it's one of the best opportunities you have in life. I started as an agronomist, vegetable agronomist, but then at my third degree, I majored as a post-harvest scientist. So I'm both an agronomist and a post-harvest specialist. And I think for those of you who are going to join us to be within the post-harvest specialist, is still a very interesting field that you will love to build a career on. Most especially when we talk about horticulture, we're talking about flowers, vegetables, fruits, and spices, and herbs. The importance of vegetables, spices, herbs, fruits to our health and immune system has already been overemphasized. I mean, cannot be overemphasized. So if you are lucky to come into this program, I think it's one of the best decisions you have made, and I congratulate you for getting admission. As you come in, you take taught courses that will help you to understand the mystery of the physiology of plants. You would go through deterioration, you go through courses like growth regulators, plant growth regulators, where you are talking about various growth regulators that come into play naturally, as well as the synthetic ones. And then you will take major courses in research methods because you need to understand the systematic and scientific way of conducting both a field and laboratory research. And the other courses that go by 8, of course, they are all necessary special topics in vegetables, special topics in ornamentals. All these courses will be taken, but then none of them is so scary. But especially for those of you who don't have a typically strong scientific background, where you are coming as an agribusiness student, you now want to major in post-harvest because you need it for as a working knowledge. You would need to revisit your basic sciences more and more. Your basic sciences in terms of photosynthesis, respiration, the basic physiology of plants, the difference between a plant cell, animal cell. Please make sure you revisit that science, build it up again quickly, and then you can catch up very fast with the others. But then in this particular field, you will be diving more deep into the physiology and the perishability of horticultural crops, and how best we can use technology and understanding of the science to preserve fruits for a longer time, to make sure that the shelf life of a fruit can be enhanced for more usability. Then, of course, so within the first year, the first semester, you have taught courses, and this year we're going to have more of the virtual lessons, and then we're going to minimize on the contact hours. But if you're going to have a contact hours, yeah, we're going to travel all the way to Kumasi, sit down from Saturday morning to Saturday evening, then Sunday morning to Sunday evening before you go back. That alone is very stressful, I must admit. And I go for class and I see my students, some of them are sleeping, they are dozing off, and you ask them, you tell you, say, I traveled all the way throughout the whole night, I've not slept. You can expect such challenges. Traveling from Takoradi to reach Kumasi early morning to go for classes, it can be very stressful, very challenging, and that is how you're going to travel sometime every 2 weeks or stuff like that. And you prepare for mid-semester examination, and prepare for end of semester examinations. This time, like we said, we're going to do more of the virtual classes. So your first year is taught courses. And it's a human society, so to start is not difficult. I congratulate you for starting, but to finish, I can see many of our students are not able to finish. And sometimes they trail a paper and they need to rewrite it. My best advice for you is that do your best never to trail a paper. Never to be in the need to rewrite a paper. But if you need to rewrite it, fine, do your best to rewrite it. And don't, if you, for any reason, for whether personal or any personal reason, you miss classes and then you miss an examination and you complicate things for yourself and your chances of finishing the course can become a little bit difficult. So please do your best. The enthusiasm, the joy with which you have taken your board form and gotten admission, let it sustain you. You go through the first year as taught courses, and the second year especially is the most challenging. Some, once they are giving their lecturer, they get their topic, they just fizzle out. You never see them, you never hear of them again. And some of them get married, they have children, and they forget about the course. These are the realities on the ground. But I want to advise you that once you have come in with a lot of momentum and interest, do your best to sustain yourself within, because there will be challenges. It's very stressful. Some of you appear to be satisfied with the idea that it's a distance learning course, it's a weekend program, and some of the students don't have time. And they don't just have the time. Even the weekend that they come unprepared. They come so tired, they are not able to sit down and go through, because you sit down for 5 hours going through a lecture, and if you're not strong enough, you're not healthy enough, you cannot go through such a stressful moment. So please, before you come for a weekend contact hour, please make sure you had enough rest and you come fresh and prepared and ready to go through, sitting down from 7 a.m. and closing at 4 p.m. Get ready for that. That is how it is with me to have the contact hours. But make use of your internet so that you can have your lessons from the virtual classes very well, do your assignments very promptly, and then you can flow and finish quickly. But if you're unable to finish within the 2 years, it becomes another complication. Some will have to struggle how to rewrite some paper, and sometimes you don't see them for a long time and they just emerge. These are the realities on the ground, the challenges we are facing. So we are encouraging you that once you have come in, you have paid your school fees and all that, please do your best to finish within the 2 years and graduate. So the first year is for taught courses. The second year is for your research, after which you defend, and then you attend a viva, and you defend it at the graduate level. You are expected to write a full thesis, which is very different from the first degree that you did. The thesis at the master's level is very demanding. It calls for sitting down for hours. And the fact that you are not in a school environment and you are just at home, it's easy to just relax yourself, and then you don't even seem to be in a schooling mood, and you are just busy with the work and family life, and you forget that you are a student. But I must encourage you that academic work is very challenging. Neither is the research cheap. It involves a lot of money, involves a lot of traveling up and down, consulting experts here and there, and doing a systematic and scientific work. And it's very important. You will be expected to have a seminar, one seminar where you would, after being given your supervisor, you agree with him on the subject of research, then you design your experiment. You will be expected to defend that research design before a panel of research, scientists, which are the department. We are all your lecturers. We would want to just see whether the work you have chosen, the way we want to do it, is systematic, is scientific, and valid enough. Then we might suggest certain changes, after which we leave you to go home, and whatever facilities are available to you, use it and do the work, and then after you are finished with the research, you write your thesis. There's a standard that is expected as far as the thesis writing is concerned, the number of pages, how to do your referencing properly, how to go through introduction, literature review, materials and methods, results, and then results and discussions, and then your conclusion, then your abstracts. Everything might be well coordinated, well done. And then those of you who want to get somebody to do the work for you, it's something I would discourage so much. I would, as much as possible, encourage you to do the work yourself, because you can be asked a question on your Viva day that if it is found out that you didn't do the work yourself, you can be trailed. You can fail the research. So I would advise you, for those of you who are used to people writing thesis for you or people doing the work for you, and you sit down and say, this is my work, it's a very scary thing. I suggest that you get involved and do the work yourself. When you are involved and you do the work yourself, you know everything from the beginning to the end. If you are asked any question at any time, any day, you are able to answer for yourself. So that is why it is very important for you to get involved and do the work yourself. Don't think that you have money to pay somebody to do it, so you just contract people to do that. And for those of you who would not even sit down to write, it's very good that you are coming up to become, you are going to be groomed to join a body of scientists globally. Because after here, you will be expected to attend international conferences. It's part of the training to be able to go and defend your work, speak before other colleague scientists, be able to talk scientifically and communicate with your peers as a scientist in other parts of the world. So you should expect that the training is not just a localized training, but it has got an international standard where after you say you are a master's student in post-harvest, you can be able to come to the level of maturity mentally and intellectually where you can communicate effectively with your colleague scientists around the world. And that is what it makes the work demanding. And it said that you have to sit down and work and get yourself involved, dirty your hands, get the work done, after which you get yourself the graduation, of course. On that day of congregation, you'll be happy to see your spouses by your side, seeing that, yes, you made it. That is the joy. So just remember that there's a day you're supposed to graduate. And your wife, your spouses, your kids will like to see you graduating, and graduating very well. And for that matter, it is worth all the sacrifice. All the energy must be put in place. All the resources must be put in place. And you collaborate well with your supervisor. There are some of the students, you give them the topic and they just get vanished. That's all. If something is happening in your home, we don't have any way of knowing unless you communicate. Communicate with your supervisor effectively. Let him know where you are going, how the work is going on. Periodically, give your supervisor an update so that if there's any work, you don't wait and you do the work. Listen carefully. Don't wait and finish the whole work only to be told that something should have been done at the beginning, which without it invalidates your work. So communicate with your supervisors and other researchers effectively, so that as you effectively, you are guided to do the right thing. You don't commit a blunder before it is discovered at the tail end of it. But if you open up and you are talking to your other researchers, your supervisor effectively, then you will be guided and you'll be groomed. And especially it's good to know how to write good English at the master's level. And the only thing is that this is not a cheap work. You would need to sit down and work. And that is something nobody can do for you. No matter how much you pay people here and there, a time will come where you'll be called to defend the work. So you must be familiar with the work to the point that if you are asked any question about the work from any angle, you can say, I did it, this is what happened, and you can defend it. That is very important. If it comes to a point where you cannot defend your work and you need to be trailed, it's a very embarrassing situation. It does happen. It has happened before. And I'm just hoping that doesn't happen to any of you. So once again, congratulations for gaining admission to this program. We look forward to seeing you. We are very happy that you are going to be part of the future scientists within the post-harvest physiology field. It's an amazing field that globally has gained a lot of importance, and I know that you will be very happy to build a career as a post-harvest scientist. No matter your background, you will just be very happy you did it. It helps us to preserve food better, and we eat better food, higher nutrition, better nutrition, and we understand the phytochemistry and the physiology of plants better to be able to take the best use of them, manipulate them well for humanity to benefit from it. So without much to say, I am the coordinator. My name is Dr. Nitin, as I've said, and this is my contact number. If you are in any challenge, you can always contact me. We have 3 people at the department that are at your service. The head of department, presently the head of department, Dr. Aidan Irene, and then I am the coordinator. And you have, she is also the exam officer. So we will be handling everything. The two of us will be handling everything concerning your work. My contact is 0244 858 258. You would need to actually create a platform on WhatsApp where we will still end up helping you to get a class leader, and then the class leader would always have to contact me if there's any issue. If there's a lecturer that is supposed to come to class, of course I will prepare the timetable. We will know the lecturer ahead of time. The contact of the lecturers will be there. So the class leader is supposed to call the lecturer, and then he's aware that coming Saturday or coming whatever, there's a contact time where you'll be meeting your lecturer. You don't call the lecturer on a Saturday morning. You might have forgotten. So always, it's the duty of the class leader, whoever is going to be your class leader, you always channel grievances. The class makes a decision, you give it to the class leader, he gives it to me, I talk to the head of department. If you need to talk to then it goes to the ideal offices, and then that's the flow of communication. If there's anything that happening, if you want to defer your program, you write to the director, you copy me, you copy the head of department, and then we take it from there. So I'm going to be with you throughout the program, and I hope we have a good time. Thank you.